Let me ask you something. What could happen if you set aside just 1 hour a day, not for entertainment, not for distraction, but for your own growth, your own future? 1 hour a day invested wisely can transform everything about your life. Most people are busy, yet very few are intentional. There's a major difference. Busy people move fast, but intentional people move forward. If you want to build a better future, you must carve out that hour and guard it like treasure. Think about it. 1 hour a day studying your field. 1 hour a day practicing a valuable skill. 1 hour a day building your mind, strengthening your character, deepening your knowledge. Over a year, that's 365 hours. That's the equivalent of more than 9 full-time work weeks. Imagine where you would be compared to everyone else who just let that hour slip away. The truth is, success doesn't respond to need. It responds to the seed you plant in the soil of time and nourish with discipline. The difference between those who design their destiny and those who drift toward disappointment often comes down to simple, daily habits. 1 hour a day. That's all it takes to get into the top 5% of your field. That's all it takes to become exceptional. Now, here's the catch. Nobody will hand you that hour. You must claim it. You must trade something for it. A TV show, idle chatter, social media scrolling. But the trade is worth it. Because while others entertain themselves into mediocrity, you can educate yourself into greatness. 1 hour a day reading. 1 hour a day rehearsing your craft. 1 hour a day writing, thinking, planning, dreaming with purpose. And over time, the world will make room for your talents. Opportunities will find you. Doors will open that today you can't even see. Remember, you don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just have to win 1 hour a day. Over the weeks, the months, the years, you'll look back and realize 1 hour a day changed everything. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And the most powerful kind of discipline is not the kind that moves mountains in one day, but the kind that quietly chips away at the rock day after day, hour after hour, until something magnificent is revealed. 1 hour a day, committed with discipline, will do more for your life than bursts of effort followed by long seasons of neglect. You see, motivation may get you started, but it's discipline that keeps you going when the excitement fades, when the results are slow, when no one is cheering you on. The mistake many people make is waiting for the perfect day, the right time, the magical moment where everything lines up. That day rarely comes. Success belongs to those who move forward on ordinary days with extraordinary discipline. They don't need the stars to align. They just need 1 hour and the decision to show up for it every day. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency. And consistency is where the compound effect begins its quiet, powerful work. Let's imagine you dedicate 1 hour every single day to a specific goal. Let's say learning a language, improving your physical health, mastering your craft, or building a business skill. That hour, done with purpose, adds up. It may feel small in the beginning, almost insignificant. You may even question whether it's worth it. But over time, the results accumulate. One day you speak confidently in a new language. One day your health transforms. One day opportunities appear that others thought were luck, but you know they earned. 1 disciplined hour at a time. Discipline teaches you that time is a currency, and while most people spend it, the disciplined few invest it. They understand that what you do daily matters more than what you do occasionally. Missing a single day may not hurt, but missing often enough builds the habit of skipping. And in the same way that discipline builds, neglect destroys. It's a law as real as gravity. What you neglect deteriorates, but what you discipline improves. The beauty of daily discipline is that it simplifies your life. It removes the need to make big, stressful decisions over and over. If you've already decided that 7-8 a.m. is your power hour for study, or reflection, or practice, you don't negotiate with yourself every morning. You just do it. And each time you follow through, you're not just making progress, you're building a stronger identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who shows up, someone who does what they say they'll do. That kind of inner confidence is priceless. And it doesn't come from talent, luck, or even intelligence. It comes from discipline, from honoring your time, from choosing growth over comfort. Each time you choose discipline, you reinforce a mindset that says, I'm in control of my life. I shape my future. I'm not waiting to be rescued or discovered. I'm showing up every single day. And here's the paradox. The more disciplined your life becomes, the more freedom you gain. Freedom to do what others can't, go where others won't, become what others never dared. Discipline, then, is not a prison. It's a path to power. 1 hour a day, governed by discipline, can unlock doors that have remained closed for years. Now, it won't always feel glamorous. It won't always feel exciting. Sometimes, discipline looks like turning off the television. Sometimes it means setting the alarm clock an hour earlier. Sometimes it means saying no to invitations or distractions that offer immediate pleasure but delay long-term reward. But if you stay the course, the rewards will come, not just in what you achieve, but in who you become. Because ultimately, the true gift of discipline is not the results. It's the transformation of character. It's becoming the kind of person who can be trusted with more, the kind of person whose habits align with their dreams. 1 hour a day may seem small, but over time, it becomes the evidence of a life lived with purpose, integrity, and direction. So if you're looking for the secret to change, don't search for magic. Don't wait for motivation. Begin with discipline. Win the hour, win the day, and before long, you'll win the life you've imagined. There's a simple law that governs all progress. Small, consistent efforts, repeated over time, create massive outcomes. This is the law of incremental growth. It's not glamorous, it's not headline-worthy, but it is unstoppable. Every tree began as a seed, every building as a single brick, and every expert as a curious beginner. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck often comes down to who was willing to honor the small steps and stay with them long enough to let them work. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. Why? Because they chase intensity instead of consistency. They want the crash diet, the overnight fortune, the breakthrough moment that skips the struggle. But anything built in a moment can vanish in a moment. Incremental growth, however, builds roots. And what has roots can weather storms. When you give 1 hour a day to focused growth, something starts to shift. You don't just gain knowledge or skill, you gain momentum. Momentum is a powerful force. It's like a flywheel. At first, it takes effort to get it moving, but once it starts turning, it carries itself forward with less and less effort. 1 day of progress may not feel like much, but day after day, the hours stack. Your understanding deepens, your abilities sharpen. You look up 6 months later, and you're not the same person. Let's say you decide to dedicate 1 hour a day to developing a skill, something that matters to your career, your future, your personal mission. At first, you'll face friction. It might feel like you're barely moving the needle. That's normal. Growth is quiet at the beginning, but behind the scenes, something is happening. Your brain is wiring new connections. Your hands are learning new movements. Your confidence is growing, slowly and silently. And that quiet progress compounds. You see, compound growth doesn't just apply to money. It applies to learning, health, relationships, influence, and character. 1 conversation a day with your child makes you a better parent. 1 hour a day reading builds wisdom. 1 email a day to potential clients builds a business. The results don't always show immediately, but over time, they show undeniably. The tragedy is that many people abandon the process too soon. They do the work for a few days, maybe a week or 2, and then decide it's not working. They confuse invisibility with ineffectiveness. But just because you can't see the growth yet doesn't mean it isn't happening. Imagine planting a seed and digging it up every day to check if it's grown. That's how many people treat their progress. What they need is patience, belief in the process, and the discipline to keep watering the soil. Incremental growth also teaches you humility. You stop expecting miracles and you start creating progress. You stop blaming circumstances and you start designing your days. With just 1 hour of intentional effort each day, you become the architect of your future. You realize that you don't have to make massive changes overnight. You just have to make small, better choices and repeat them. Eventually, others will notice, they'll ask how you did it, and the answer won't be some secret or shortcut. It will be that 1 hour again and again, stacked quietly when no one was watching. That's the beauty of incremental growth. It's available to everyone, but accessed only by those who value process over speed. 1 hour a day might not change your life overnight, but it will change who you are in 6 months, in a year, in 5 years. You look back and see how far you've come, not because of one big decision, but because of thousands of small ones. That's the law. That's the way. And once you understand it, you'll stop asking for shortcuts and start building something real. So don't worry if the changes feel small today. Don't underestimate the power of daily improvement, because if you stay committed, if you keep showing up, the hour you give each day will eventually give back in ways far greater than you can imagine. That's not just a theory, it's a law, and it always works for those who work it. Everyone is given the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between success and mediocrity often comes down to how you use just one of those hours. The truth is, time is the most democratic resource on earth. It doesn't care about your background, your income, or your circumstances. It gives everyone the same amount every day. And what you do with it, especially that one focused hour, can either move you toward your goals or drift you further away from them. You see, life is not about having time, it's about making time. The difference between the person who builds a better future and the one who stays stuck in cycles of frustration isn't talent or intelligence. It's the ability to prioritize. You have to make the conscious decision to say, this hour matters. I will not let it go to waste. That's where the separation happens. While others are letting time slip through their fingers with distractions and mindless habits, the wise are building something 1 hour at a time. Let's be clear. It's not that people don't have time. It's that they haven't made the time. And when something isn't scheduled, it gets filled with whatever is easiest, not what is most important. That's why intentionality is so powerful. If you decide in advance that 1 hour a day is non-negotiable, that it belongs to your future, then you've already won half the battle. You've made your priorities visible. Because without priorities, time disappears. It could be an hour for learning, an hour for practicing, an hour for writing, planning, thinking, creating, or training. Whatever it is, that hour should serve the life you want to build, not just the life you're reacting to. And it doesn't require perfection. You don't need ideal conditions. You just need to protect that time like it matters. As it does. Some will argue they're too busy, that the day is full, the schedule packed. But here's the hard truth. If you don't control your time, something or someone else will. That 1 hour you give up without thinking will be filled with emails, entertainment, or errands that don't move you an inch closer to your real goals. But the 1 hour you take back, the one you spend deliberately, becomes the seed of transformation. The most successful people are not the busiest, they're the most focused. They've learned to say no to the urgent so they can say yes to the important. They know that progress isn't made in giant leaps, but in choosing again and again to spend time wisely. And when you learn to protect just 1 hour a day, you begin to master your time. And once you master your time, you begin to master your life. Your level of success is directly tied to your level of skill and knowledge. The world rewards those who bring value, and value comes from what you know and what you can do. If you want more out of life, more opportunities, more income, more influence, you have to become more valuable. And the fastest way to do that is by dedicating time each day to developing yourself. Just 1 hour a day, consistently applied, can take you from average to exceptional in any field. Most people want success, but very few are willing to sharpen their skills daily. They hope for a lucky break or a sudden opportunity, but opportunities don't come to those who wait. They come to those who prepare. Think about the people at the top of any profession. They aren't there by accident. They have spent years, often decades, refining their craft, learning from the best, and applying themselves consistently. The difference between them and the average person is not raw talent, but a commitment to daily improvement. This is where the power of one focused hour a day becomes clear. Imagine if you spent 1 hour every day studying your industry, mastering a skill, or expanding your knowledge. In a single year, that's 365 hours, roughly the equivalent of 9 extra weeks of focused learning. How much better would you be at your job, your business, your craft? How much more valuable would you become? The truth is, most people waste that time without even realizing it. Scrolling through social media, watching television, engaging in small talk that leads nowhere. Hours disappear every week with nothing to show for them. But those who choose to use their time wisely gain a competitive advantage, while others entertain themselves. The disciplined few educate themselves. And in time, that education turns into expertise. Expertise turns into opportunities. and opportunities turn into success. One of the greatest financial truths is that money flows toward value. If you are struggling financially, if you feel stuck in your career, the answer is not to chase money. It is to increase your value. Employers don't pay for effort. They pay for results. Clients don't hire based on potential. They hire based on proven skill. The market doesn't reward hours worked. It rewards problems solved. And the better you become at solving valuable problems, the more the world will pay you. The good news? You don't need to make dramatic changes overnight. You just need to claim 1 hour a day, 1 hour to study the trends in your industry, 1 hour to practice a high input skill, 1 hour to read the books that expand your thinking. At first it may seem slow, even insignificant, but over time, as your knowledge compounds, you will separate yourself from the competition. The average person coasts through life, doing the minimum required. The exceptional person builds skills daily, knowing that every hour spent wisely today brings greater rewards tomorrow. Think about it this way. If you were to become just 1% better every day, in 1 year you wouldn't be 365% better, but exponentially better, because improvement compounds. Each new skill builds on the last. Each piece of knowledge connects with the next. Over time, you reach a level where success is no longer a question of if but when, because those who develop themselves daily become impossible to ignore. The challenge is this: will you commit to that hour? Will you claim it before life fills it with distractions? Because if you do, you will create opportunities that others only dream about. You won't need to chase success. It will come to you, because the world pays attention to those who have something valuable to offer. And the best way to ensure you have value to offer is to spend an hour a day becoming the person. If there's one truth that runs through everything we've explored, it's this: real change doesn't come from sudden breakthroughs or giant leaps. It comes from the quiet, deliberate decision to show up every single day. 1 hour may not seem like much, but over time it becomes the most powerful tool you have. 1 hour a day can sharpen your discipline, unlock the law of incremental growth, help you master your time, and most importantly, increase your value to the world. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of small, consistent actions. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is not luck, talent, or circumstance. It's how you use your time. While others make excuses, you can make progress. While others wait for motivation, you can build momentum. The key is to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start building with what you have today for one focused hour. Because in the end, success doesn't belong to those who wish for it. It belongs to those who work for it. 1 hour at a time.